The McKoy Brothers. Dojo Sleepover Disaster. A McKoy Vision production. The McKoy brothers had planned a big sleepover at Sensei Kenji's dojo. They'd spent the whole week hyping each other up about staying overnight where they trained. Robert was excited because he thought it'd be like his personal night ninja training. Michael was thrilled, imagining himself becoming the ultimate warrior overnight. Jackson brought a pile of random things that made no sense, like a plunger and a stuffed llama. Jacob, of course, didn't want to go at all and had been complaining the whole day about sleeping on hard mats and smelling old socks. But here they were, the dojo. With their sleeping bags lined up on the mat, they thought they were ready for an epic night. Or so they thought. They'd barely settled in when Robert spotted a shadow outside the window. He immediately went into stealth mode, crouching low and signaling for the others to follow. Michael tried to join him but tripped over his own sleeping bag, knocking into Jacob, who yelled, "You're stepping on my foot, you klutz." Jackson tried to look intimidating but was holding the plunger like a sword, which only made him look ridiculous. Once everyone calmed down, Michael decided it was snack time and pulled out a giant bag of potato chips, loudly crunching away. Unfortunately, he hadn't realized Sensei Kenji had a rule against food in the dojo. When Robert reminded him, Michael panicked and tried to stuff the chips back into the bag, but the bag split open and chips flew everywhere. The crunch was deafening and even Jackson could tell they were in trouble. Jacob threw his hands up. "Great, now we're going to be haunted by the ghost of Sensei's leftover chips." To make matters worse, a trail of ants suddenly appeared out of nowhere, all over their sleeping bags. Jackson, convinced they weren't warrior ants, started yelling battle cries and trying to swat them with the plunger. Sensei Kenji appeared again, half asleep, staring at the mess. What is going on in here?" he mumbled, shaking his head before returning to his office. The boys hastily cleaned up the chips, but the ants had made themselves comfortable. The lights were dimmed, and they were finally about to fall asleep when a strange clanging noise echoed through the dojo. Michael, wide-eyed and clutching his pillow like a shield, whispered, "Do you think it's the dojo ghost?" Robert rolled his eyes but was secretly freaked out too. Jacob muttered, "It's probably just Sensei's ancient sword spirit coming to get revenge because we messed with his chips." Jackson, clueless as usual, decided to march toward the sound, plunger raised high like he was leading a charge. Just as he reached the source of the noise, Sensei's old armor set in the corner. A gust of wind from an open window blew the armor, sending it clattering to the ground. Everyone screamed and dove for cover. Jackson, still not getting it, yelled, "The ghost tried to attack me, but I scared him off with my plunger skills." Of course, the only ghost was a drafty window, but they all agreed to pretend Jackson was a hero for the night. The next morning, Sensei Kenji found them sprawled across the mat, still surrounded by the chaos. He sighed, shook his head and chuckled to himself. The McKoy brothers may not have learned the noble ways of the dojo, but they sure knew how to keep him on his toes. Next time, he thought, maybe I'll just lock them in the garden instead.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. And stay tuned for more.